Ray 5! And I've had my big fat salad for lunch. I've got some left for tea. My chickpeas, they were okay, so they weren't gone to waste just because they didn't sprout. What I didn't realise was that supposedly older chickpeas don't really sprout, so after like 4 or 5 rays I was thinking, I'm gonna just try one and see if it's edible or no. So I just tried some and they have gone a bit funny, almost a little bit cheesy or something. So I thought, well, they could actually go quite nicely in the pesto sauce that I made, which would, because they put cheese in pesto, and sometimes I'm really put off with food that's like gone cheesy and stuff, because I don't know, the thought of it makes me feel a bit sick. Welcome to this journey of my 7-Ray Raw Empowerment Challenge. I haven't gone too much into detail about this, but when I was younger, I spent about 10 years training myself not to eat. I would do things like, I would count how many times I chewed each bite of food. I would make sure I chewed at least 30 times with every mouthful of food, so it would digest really quickly, and so that it would trick my vessel into not being as hungry and I wouldn't eat as much. I would do things like really just like being very controlling around my food to try and stay really skinny and not eat a lot. And I would try and make myself feel sick at the thought of food, and it got to a point where I did, and like even now eating too many bananas can make me feel like I want to be sick. And so it's like I healed the emotional reasons behind that. I healed the mental reasons behind that. I love myself so much now, and really all of that came down to a lot of repressed anger, a lot of repressed sadness, a lot of repressed like fear, and wanting to control things, and hating the way I looked and hating myself, just no self-value or self-worth or anything. And going raw actually fully healed all that. It gave me the self-love back, and it healed all of these imbalances, and even maybe the entities and attachments that I had that was feeding these thoughts into me. So it fully healed me. But what was left, because of 10 years of training myself not to eat loads, when I went raw, it's like, hey, you know, you have to eat a lot to get on top of your nutrients, which I did at first. But 7 years in, I started getting a bit lazy, because I don't usually naturally eat that much anyway, so I was just getting away with eating a salad. Sometimes in my mind I'd be saying to my guides, can I finish now? And they say 5 more bites and then you can. So it's like there's still this resistance to actually physically eating food, so I force myself to eat food, and I enjoy it and I feel really good after. But sometimes if I get lazy, which I have done for the past 3 years, I've kind of just gone, oh yeah, I've eaten my food now, even if it's a small salad. I've eaten my food now, I can get on with my ray and don't have to eat anymore. Really, because I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to eat, and I don't necessarily feel hungry, but I know that that's not necessarily serving me on a health level. And what's happened is, more recently I'd noticed like lumps, like lumpy skin on my skin on my face, and like certain things where I'm like, is this a sign of maybe just nutritional deficiency after like 7 years of not really eating that much, maybe even 25 years or however long it's been of me just having a negative relationship with food and not looking after myself health wise. And when I started tracking my nutrients in my app, I would start to see certain vitamins, minerals like vitamin K, where I was like always just under target and stuff. And so over time, these things have a negative effect if you do long-term vitamin deficiency. Some people do go fully breatharian. That I possibly could, I don't know, but I've not tried going that far. And with noticing these things coming up, I'm feeling like I need to start eating more, and I felt like I was wanting that raw glow and that raw energy again. So obviously this is why I'm doing a 7-Ray Raw challenge, and I wanted to I'll tell you about the chickpeas in the next one.